So, hello everybody. Today is Friday, the 7th of October 2022. I'm Neelu Berry Chowdhury with Lee Kant. And first of all, we have to say Lee is looking much better than when I saw him in the hospital. He's still waiting for his hernia operation. And so hopefully, he's on the mend anyway. So today we're going to talk about a very serious subject regarding crimes committed against whistleblowers by imposters pretending to be public servants. And Lee has been a victim for at least 7 years, like myself. I know I've been a victim for a lot longer than that, maybe 20 years. And Lee and I are going to go through how to file crimes committed against us. Then there's no time limit. So we'll start, for example, I'm in the process of getting arrests done of people who tried to steal my late sister's home, which is a memorial for her baby and her deaths in state care, both in state care. Redbridge Social Services and Redbridge Council liable. And then the bank extorted from her, Lloyds Banking Group, Halifax, Bank of Scotland, extorted money from her and denied her benefits, etc., etc. And so this is very common. The state is all conspiring to kill whistleblowers, and they find hundreds and thousands of ways of doing it, and it's all done behind the scenes. They hijack the computer system, they hijack the courts, they hijack all public services, health service, airports, embassies, visas, passports, everything. So like Lee, I'm going to screen share. So we go to met.police.uk, which is the London Metropolitan Police for the whole of London. I think that's the M25 area. So it's like 10 miles this way and 10 miles that way and all the way around. But if you go to your own police website, and then you go to report, and then you report a crime, and then it asks you a few questions. Is it an emergency, etc.? Is it happening right now? So you say no. Has the suspect left anything like clothing, blood, anything? And then if they've served you with a document which is fraudulent, you say yes. And then you say continue online. It says you can call 101 or you can go continue online. Did this happen on a train? No. Where did where did the crime happen at a specific location? Then they want the postcode, which I'm happy to share is mine.
Are you giving your 450 address?
Yeah, I am doing that.
So I would give my E9 address. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just showing an example of how quick and easy this is. So it can be done in 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes. So if you've had a home stolen, a child stolen, your assets frozen, and it's not been criminally prosecuted, and you believe these were imposters, that's the main thing, is that you believe. I think it's probably because I'm on a Zoom that it's not allowing me to do this. So, but anyway, people get the flow, and then you get this form comes up, and then you just fill in.
The next question, was anything stolen?
Right, yeah, I've got it. Was anything stolen? No. Well, any property damage? No.
In my case, it's Hackney Council who are stealing from me. So
No, because when they throw in well, yours is a court document, but if anyone's come at your door, so they won't. The police cannot investigate if it's going through the court, but because these imposters came whilst it was going through the court, and because we told them that it was going through the court and they had to allow the court to do their thing, they couldn't come before the court has finished its jurisdiction. So it was sub judice, and they came, tries to steal the house whilst the matter was in court, which is contempt of court. So they committed a criminal. So was anyone threatened, verbally abused, or assaulted? Yes, I was threatened. I was threatened, so that's a yes. So alarm, distress, harassment, intimidation, trespass.
Sorry, was anything stolen? Yes or no?
No, I put no. So then it says, yes, you can report this crime online. So you press start.
Was any property damaged?
I've said no.
No. Okay.
Okay. So report.
Anyone?
So it's to me, if somebody throws a piece of paper in my letterbox saying they're going to steal the house, that to me, that's
a threat.
A threat, right?
Threat.
And whilst these men were told, whilst this matter is in court, and they know that it's in court, and when they came, they were told it's in court, and they still carried on. So you just fill this out. You don't have, you do have to give your date of birth because it's got a red asterisk on it. So, which I didn't really want to do that, but.
Are you putting your date of birth in, Nilu?
No, I'm not filling this out, Lee. I'm just showing people how they can fill this out for themselves.
But I'm filling it out now. Do I put my date of birth?
Sorry?
Do I put my date of birth in?
You have to, because it's red. It won't process it unless you do.
Okay.
But if you don't want people to know that, we don't have to make that public whilst you do that.
Okay.
So basically it took me 5 minutes, or maybe 10, 15 minutes at most.
Yeah, it's quick.
So do you want to screen share, Lee? Once you've done that page, you go into the next page just so people can see what the boxes are, because it won't let me go to the next page. So I'll just stop sharing my end so you can share your end.
Yeah, I'm just typing in my address now. So I'm nearly finished. It says, how were you involved as a victim or witnessed a crime taking place? So I can tick, I am a victim. Yeah. And then it says, are you under 18? No. Then it says, have you experienced other crimes? Yes. And I'm just going to put too lengthy and detailed. Too lengthy. Okay.
Okay, so Lee is now asking me about what actually happened. So he's going through a court process, but because the court procedures have not been followed properly, as in there's been maladministration, what they do is that they send you something which isn't in line with proper procedures, and then these imposters turn up, and you know that the court has been hijacked. So if a judge is not on the listings, as it happened in my sister's case on the 14th of March 2022, it was a Deputy District Judge Vosa, but Deputy District Judge Franklin Evans took the case at the last minute, but knew it very well and changed the courtroom. So there was no audit trail for it. So Lee, if the order is not stamped, sealed, signed, it's invalid. And it's because that no judge has signed it. If it doesn't give the name of a judge and there's no signature on it, you know it's been hijacked. The court's been hijacked, and these are imposters hijacking administrators in the court building. So that's how you know that your case has been compromised, and it hasn't, you know, it's not valid. So if you have anything that is not stamped, sealed, and signed, like Lee's got, and then so that becomes an instrument of fraud. It's a fraudulent instrument issued by the court. And this is what we're reporting now, Lee. You're reporting a fraudulent instrument
Correct.
issued by imposters impersonating administrators of the court. So if you have a children's family court, then it's the same thing. If these people turn up at the door and they take your child and they haven't got a valid instrument, as in a sealed, signed and stamped, embossed, sealed, with the name of the judge who's authorized them, and then they can't break entry, they can't use police. If they've used police and there isn't an order that says they can break entry, this is where they try to use section 17 of PACE to break entry, because they pretend that you're in danger of harming yourself and others under the Mental Health Act. But when they tried that with me about 5 times, I said to them, what was the incident, time, place, date, name of witness, which invoked the Mental Health Act, which means that I would have had to be witnessed harming myself or others. And the police, they think they're so clever, you know, they just don't know how they answer. They can't be in your letterbox telling you they're going to smash the door down under section 17 of PACE when there was no invocation of the Mental Health Act. And there was no incident of me harming myself or anybody else. And that's that officer then becomes reportable to the police for impersonating a psychiatrist, because he's bypassed all the procedures that would have had a witness, a judge, a jury, the Mental Health Act, or a psychiatrist. And he's come to my door, to smash my door, saying it's section 17 of PACE. He's an imposter. He's impersonating a psychiatrist. And I say to them, are you impersonating a psychiatrist? You know, those incidents that I've had, those need to be reported. There's 5 incidents of threats to break my door at 3 Peel Drive, IG50JR, prior to them stealing my home, including stealing my home on the 20th of July, 2018. So, Lee, all court documents are not signed or sealed properly. And that's why it's all questionable, and it's all reportable on this online crime report.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we've been doing is we've been trying to deal with corporate crimes, state crimes, using civil courts, and we didn't need to do that. We need to lay an information or do an online report, and if the police don't do it, then we do it through laying of information in the magistrates' courts. But this is a first procedure, because once you've put in the police report, you're already on the conveyor belt of you know, taking action, and the police are now required to do their job.
Yeah.
Which is to make arrests of imposters impersonating public servants. We don't require those services of having our doors smashed. So any more questions, Lee? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, very well. And I've typed it in, all of that, into the box on the on the crime report.
Okay, and next question. Any more questions?
Do I also show the police these fake documents?
Well, I've already sent feedback to that website. It does not allow you to upload documents at the moment, and they'll say, oh, do you have proof? And we say, yeah. And they say, oh, we'll let you know if we need it. And then they say within 5 days, they'll decide whether they're going to go ahead. I've told them that's not good enough. They need to give us a login and a reference number for the whole case. So every time we log something has happened, it should come under the same case. And they need us, we need to be able to, like Resolver, we go online and we can access everything we've done before on that same platform with all the documents we've uploaded. And at the moment, it's not good enough. It doesn't allow us to upload the evidence, that the criminal evidence against these people who need to be arrested. The public servants who are imposturing crimes. It's imposturing public servants to commit crimes.
Okay. Okay, I'll press the next page button now.
Yeah, just tell me all the boxes that we didn't get recorded. So you said there was one that says, are you suffering from a medical condition?
Yeah, the next box is threat, abuse, or assault details.
So they're
Was-
threatening to come and break your door and take things, or they threatening to seize your assets from your bank account.
That's right. That is the next step, because they've got a default judgment. So the next step leading from the default is to steal and thieve property, seize the property. So, which is a threat. So I'll tick yes. Is that correct, Nilu?
Yeah, yeah. Just do it the best you can, Lee, because
Yeah.
you know the police are not really going to be
They're not
doing
gonna.
this unless most people learn how to do this. I mean,
They're not.
they're on notice. The police are on notice. They can't assist bailiffs since the Rob White case. That was heard in March this year.
In March, as
Yeah,
recently as that, March
yeah,
2022.
yeah, in Maidstone, I think,
Oh,
Crown Court. So that there's a precedence there. The police cannot attend with bailiffs. But what we're saying now, Lee, is that if these imposters turn up at anybody's door, they will be arrested. What we're saying is that the police are on notice that if they turn up at your door to steal your house, your child, your car, or your home, they will be arrested. You'll say the police is on notice. The police have to attend. Like they didn't turn up on the 26th of September for me.
yeah.
And so the police are aiding and abetting these imposters to steal homes right now as we speak.
Yeah.
And we're not having that because we are long-term victims of these imposters who've hijacked the police. We've been kidnapped multiple times. We've had multiple doors broken. And we're not having this anymore. We really are not. Okay, stop now. So we've got to sections where it says, do you know the suspect or are there any witnesses? So we've decided to say, for the moment, there's no witnesses, because what the police will do is they'll start harassing the witnesses and the witnesses will say they don't want nothing to do with it. They tend to become a nuisance and they call from private numbers and then they don't ring. They'll give you one ring and they'll hang up and say there was no answer. So all this is stuff that we don't want witnesses to be subjected to. And if we give witnesses names, we're breaching their privacy data as well. So I think the police ought to take the case on, contact you, and then you disclose further evidence, because at the moment they don't even let you upload the witness statements onto the website, which they should improve that website so that everything is done like it in India. They have a website called PG Portal. So that's pgportal.gov.in. And it is the most fantastic platform. It's got all the government departments.
Yeah.
They will give you the name, phone number, email, and home address for the person who's allocated to your complaint 24/7. You can log on to that website. You can see everything you've uploaded on there. And everything that they'll respond within about a few hours. That officer will get allocated and will say what action he's taken, and you will see that his name, everything, liability is all there. There isn't anything like that in the whole world. And that's because India is so far advanced about these things. And every judgment is made public. Every transcript is available online forever. All the Law Commission of India reports are available on Law Commission of India I think. And UK's got a lot of catching up to do regarding transparency of justice and transparency of competence in public office. Oh, for example, Lee, that Walker Morris LLP are supposed to be dealing with these imposters, and they're saying the solicitor is Ellen McLean. Well, I rang Callum Davies and told him that she does not exist. And I said, as I'm a litigant person, I have a right to know the name of the registered solicitor who is dealing with this. So these are crimes upon crimes upon crimes, a pyramid of crimes, all the way up to the Bank of Scotland trading as Halifax was not even born when this mortgage was put out 2003. The names of both my dad and my late sister are wrong on the mortgage deed.
Yeah.
And the frauds are hundreds and thousands of frauds that they should have backed down a long time ago. But they continue to hijack the courts at the last minute. They tried every trick in the book to prove that they criminals are perfect criminals, that they're invincible criminals. So Walker Morris LLP has no solicitor acting, yet they've put £40,000 of fees onto my late sister's mortgage account, Lee, in 1 year without a registered solicitor.
And no proof of how they calculated it.
No questioning about their money laundering,
No
human
proof.
trafficking, routine theft of homes, nobody to question it, and their criminal networks, nobody to question it. It's all one-way roller coaster down to kill you, to rob you, to wipe you out, take everything off you, whilst Walker Morris LLP, all its directors ought to be arrested. And the Bank of Scotland, trading as Halifax, Lloyds Banking Group, all the directors should be arrested over this case because of the frauds that were proved on the 14th of March 2022. The listing fraud, the judge wasn't on the listing and he changed it, so he wasn't covered under HMCTS. There is no liability to HMCTS because this guy just landed into the courtroom for no reason.
Yeah.
And this happens all the time. So courts have been hijacked. These criminal networks are pretending to be court enforcement officers and bailiffs. Well, bailiffs have to be registered. None of these proved their registration. And if they did, they'd be struck off straight away because of what they did. They're in contempt of court.
So you want a number of people, like a dozen people, to quote your reference number to the police and to try and help you prevent the eviction on the 19th of October?
No, I don't think, because we just discussed that, didn't we, Lee? Because all I want now is people to start using this online crime report option like we've just done for any crimes that have been committed for ever how long, your child, your home, your car, everything, bailiffs and court instruments that are fraudulent, that are not signed, sealed, with no name of judge, and it's just a piece of paper anybody can print. Like, this is the second notice of eviction. It's come in this food bag, comes in a food bag, right? And it's got no seal, no stamp, no signature, nothing.
It's ridiculous.
It's got no name of any judge.
It's ridiculous.
And it's got a warrant number on it. The warrant number, if there was a warrant number, there had to be proceedings for the warrant to be issued. And I needed, or my late sister needed, to be notified of it. Actually, let me go on to the speaker system, but it's only showing you, Lee. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, quite clearly.
So I'll go back to gallery. Yeah, so the back of it, there's the Walker Morris that don't have a solicitor dealing with it. So the directors have, all the directors have a liability because there's no solicitor dealing with it. You see?
Yeah.
So there's the document for the 19th. So I'm calling on Mark Rowley, the crime commissioner for, or the crime commissioner for the Metropolitan Police. I'm calling on him to make arrests of the Walker Morris directors, of all the directors of Halifax, Bank of Scotland, and Lloyds Banking Group, Charlie Nunn, because of these routine crimes of the, you know, how many victims, Lee, of Lloyds Banking Group were denied compensation since 2018. That's since five of them, seven of them were jailed, a total of 45 years in 2018. Nobody's got compensation so far. And the money laundering was proved by Anthony Stansfield, Thames Valley Police Crime Commissioner. 200 billion a year was laundered by UK banks since 2013, since it started. And prior to that, there was a lady called Jessica Harper who went in for 5 years for laundering £2.5 million. She was supposed to be a senior manager of online security. Now, they did not identify any victims from that crime to compensate them. That money belongs to you and me, like people like us who are struggling in this poverty slavery system. So now Swiss Indo is supposed to be here 2013 G8 Summit was announcement. Now the banks are continuing with these crimes of extortion, induced suicides, divorces, family breakups, theft of children, homes, cars, to this day, even though these bankers were jailed. So they're in contempt of the criminal prosecution precedences from 2012 to this day, ongoing. And that's why the police have to start making arrests. It's one thing that they don't come with the bailiffs anymore. Well, what we're saying is they're still coming. Even if the police are not accompanying them, they're still coming, and they need to be stopped and they need to be arrested. And it's not just these agents of the banks, these criminal networks, it's the courts, the imposters in the courts who are issuing these documents. It's the lawyers, firms, Walker Morris LLP, and the bank directors. That's who need to be arrested, all of them. Because we proved the frauds in the courtroom, and that proof is in the tape recording of the court if the police want to question it. And the barrister Edward Muley will have it, the judge will have it, Franklin Evans will have it. The tape recording of the 3 sets of proceedings, and how the Walker Morris and the Maitland Chambers barrister, the second one, Edward Granger, came and tried to put a restraining order on me on the 9th of September. And the judge was very good, said, no, I'm postponing it. Wait till you've dealt with the other matters first, which is amazing, really amazing. They didn't give me enough notice of that hearing either. And it was not on the listings until the morning of the hearing. And that's not enough notice. If you don't get 4 clear days notice, you don't have to turn up. It's not enough notice. So any other questions, Lee?
No, you've covered everything. Thank you, Nilu. I think that's enough spoken for now, and we can close this session and then open session 2 at a later date.
Okay,
depending
thanks,
on
Lee.
feedback from people. Yeah.
Thanks ever so much, Lee. Thank you. So if anyone needs help filling out their online forms, please do contact me or Lee on our Facebook. So I'm Ved Chowdhury. Lee is Lee Kantz with the standing with the stone behind rock behind him.
We can do a session 2 at a later date.
Yeah, and just let us know any questions in the comments. Yeah, comments as well. Okay. And it'll be going up on YouTube, Nilu Chowdhury, which is also VPC 1111. That's Victor Papa Charlie.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Bye for
And
now.
I'll ring you on your mobile now.
Oh, I mustn't
Thank-
forget Scambuster.tv. He is behind all this campaigning that
Okay.
I'm doing right now.
I'll pick up
Scambuster.tv.
on your mobile phone, Nilu. I'll ring
Okay.
you.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Pick up.
Bye.